Welcome back, everyone. I am Psycho Emerald. Today I'm back with another Hasbro Marvel Legends 6-inch action figure unboxing and review. Today I have two figures from Marvel Studios Loki. Today I have Marvel's Mobius and Marvel's Sylvie. Both of these figures look super great. I've been super excited to get them, and they were gifted to me by my brothers. So I did not spend my own money on this. They were generously given to me for Christmas. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited for these. They both look awesome. I love the Loki show. I love all the Disney Plus shows for the MCU so far. Hawkeye just finished up recently, and it was a pretty awesome finale. So I've been really enjoying these Disney Plus shows, as you guys know. So we're back with some more Marvel Legends Disney Plus figure reviews. So I have Mobius and I have Sylvie. I decided to do these as a combo since they're both from Loki. They'll both go great with my TVA variant Loki that I got in the original Disney Plus wave. You can check that review out on my channel, and I'll bring him in later for a little bit of a size comparison, which should be fun. So to start off, let's unbox Sylvie since it is ladies first. So we'll unbox Sylvie first, then Mobius, and we'll get the trusty unboxing knife out and we will unbox these figures. Before we unbox them, we will check out the box. So we have Marvel Studios Loki, Disney Plus, Marvel's Mobius, Hasbro, big window where you can see the figure, and behind him you have a emblem of the Time Variance Authority. Very cool. Marvel Legends series Loki logo up there. We got the warnings up there. We got the artwork of Owen Wilson as Mobius. Very cool on both sides. There's that artwork again. We have Marvel Legends series, Marvel's Mobius. Mobius M. Mobius is an agent for the Time Variance Authority who specializes in the investigations of particularly dangerous crime criminals. Pretty cool. I think it's funny that he's Mobius M. Mobius. So is his name Mobius? Or is it just like Mobius Michael Mobius? I don't know what his middle name is. But yeah, so the boxes are going to be pretty much the same, but on this one we do have the Build-A-Figure, Marvel's the Watcher, Marvel's Sylvie. You can see her in the window right there. And then we got the artwork of Sylvie right there. Really like that artwork. Looks very good. Then we've got all the other figures in this Build-A-Figure wave. I did really love What If. It's probably my second favorite of all the Disney Plus shows so far. But I don't know if I need those figures because I don't think they'd go well with my MCU figures since they are a cartoony style. But I don't really want to put MCU figures on my comics shelf. So I don't really know what to do about those. So I have yet to get any of the What If figures, but I'm pretty excited about this Sylvie. So once again, we got that artwork there. Then we have Marvel Legends series, Marvel Sylvie. Laser-focused and relentless, Sylvie is the TVA's most formidable villain who has vowed to burn the organization to the ground. Alright, so we'll unbox Sylvie first. So let's get the trusty unboxing knife. Right here. And we'll cut these pieces of tape. Just cut one of those pieces of tape, and then we'll pull the tab out. Okay, we'll move Mobius out of the way so I have more room to do this. Alright. So there we have the tray. We also have the Watcher's cape back here, which I don't know if I'm going to be building that Build-A-Figure, but if I ever do, this is a very nice cape. Feels very high quality, very nice. And then we have the TVA, Time Variance Authority, kind of emblem or seal back there, or crest, whatever you want to call it. Very cool. And yeah, we'll get the packaging out of the way, and we'll get Sylvie out. So let's get her sword. Looks like it needs the trusty unboxing knife to get her sword out of there. Alright. Alright, so there's her sword. So we'll grab the hands out of the packet. Sometimes it's hard to come up with commentary while I'm just unboxing, so. Alright, so there's the figure. Looks pretty cool so far. And so we'll set her to the side, and then we'll unbox Mobius. Alright, so Mobius is next. Yeah, pretty much ever since Loki came out, I've been thinking we need a Mobius figure and we need a Sylvie figure, and of course, Hasbro came through for us. Marvel Legends is great like that. They make the characters they know we want, and they make them quickly, and they do a great job. So yeah, I definitely do love the Marvel Legends line. Once again, TVA emblem back there. Let's get his tempad, I think it's called, right there. And then his, whatever these things are called, the prune sticks. Let's call them the prune batons. I don't remember what they're called. Ah. And there's Mobius. Very, very cool. Really liking the head sculpt on this one. So, let's get the excess packaging out of the way, and we will check out the figures. Alright, so here are both the figures out of the packaging with all their accessories, and if you're wondering why Mobius is sitting down, it's because he just didn't feel up to standing today. Yep, he just couldn't stand up. He's too tired today, so no, I'm just kidding. But he was extremely difficult to try to stand up. I tried for quite a while and decided, you know what, he can just sit down. He obviously doesn't want to stand up. I have heard complaints about this old, like, Agent Coulson body, I think it is, that they reused for this figure not being able to stand up, and now I am completely understanding what they were talking about. It was took me quite a while. It was very tedious trying to stand him up, and I just gave up. So he gets to sit down. That's okay. But Sylvie, on the other hand, stands up perfectly fine. So let's review Sylvie first. So she comes with kind of this cloak she had in the show. You could take it off, though, very easily, which is very cool, but it is just a very simple green cloak. It's kind of got this lining to it, and then there's the hood has kind of this different sheen going on there, so it's kind of matte, except right here, which is kind of shiny, which is cool. And then here we have the figure itself, which is very simple, but we do have kind of these straps going on here, kind of this chest armor going on, and then these boots have their laces going down them, which is kind of cool. Got like the gold ring there, which attaches to the straps. She's got her crown with one horn, which is very good. I think the head sculpt is probably the coolest part of this figure. Lots of good sculpting going on, good paint work going on. Like right here, you can see more like gold or bronze going on. So there's a lot of cool stuff that they did with this. Head sculpt, I think, is very good. Looks pretty close to spot on like the actress looked in the show. So I think it's pretty great. The hair looks good. And yeah, when you do take the cloak off, the neck does look a little long, but it doesn't bother me too much. I wouldn't have noticed it if MCU Collector 24, I'll link his channel up there, and he's on my recommended channels. He does good Marvel Legends reviews, but I wouldn't have noticed that her neck looks too long once you take the cloak off if he hadn't pointed that out, but it's okay. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. And yeah, let's check out Mobius. Alright, so here's Mobius, and the whole body itself is very simplistic. He does have this belt buckle right here that's golden and does have TVA sculpted into it, which is cool. But everything else is very simple. They did give him a tie that looks like the one that he had in the show. But the standout is the head sculpt, for sure. From the hair all the way down. Like, this does look like Owen Wilson and how Mobius looked in the show. It is a fantastic head sculpt. Easily worth getting the figure for that, even if the suited body is just very simplistic. You know, you've got the wrinkles, you've got the buttons and everything, all the sculpt, but there's really not too much going on there. But this was a figure I definitely felt like I wanted to get, and I don't know if I ever would have ended up getting it, but I'm glad I got it as a gift for Christmas, because this is an awesome figure, pretty much just from that head sculpt. Is the rest of it great? Does it have amazing articulation or anything? No, but it's okay. Does it stand up very well? No, but it's okay, because this head sculpt is fantastic, and it's absolutely worth it if you're considering buying this to have a Mobius in your collection. So I think this is a great figure. There's not much going on with it when it comes to the suited body, but you do have these shoes, which are kind of an orange color, orange light brown color, so that's nice. And yeah, it's a good figure. I think it definitely looks like Mobius. Yeah, let's check out the accessories of Sylvie. Alright, so accessories for Sylvie. We have this dagger she had, golden handle down here, a lot of cool sculpting and paint going on there, and the green blade. So this is a very cool weapon for her to be posed with on the shelf, so I'm pretty happy to have that. It's definitely going to look cool. And let's check out her swappable hands. They are both the same, just for a left and right hand. They are gripping or trigger hands. I don't think they're really trigger hands. They're more just gripping hands, but they would work for trigger hands, I guess. But yeah, gripping hands so she can hold her sword in either hand you want. Now let's check out Mobius's accessories. You can see all this little work that's gone into it. It wasn't this big. Like, if you look at Mobius next to it, it's too big. It's not to scale, but in order to get all the details they wanted to get into it, I understand that they had to make it this big, even if it isn't accurate. But yeah, it's very cool. It looks like a DS or something, Nintendo DS. It's kind of fun. But yeah, definitely a cool accessory to be included with Mobius, and you can use it for Sylvie and Loki as well, so it's cool that they just gave us one of these in the Marvel Legends line that we can use. And then his other accessory that is included with Mobius is the pruning baton thing. I don't remember what they're called. Maybe they're not called anything, but let's just call it the baton. It's very cool. It's got kind of this electrical wire-looking thing going on. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's definitely there. He'll have to get in hand to see what I'm talking about. But then there's just kind of a brown neck to it and then a black handle. But that'll probably look pretty cool in his hand. Pretty cool accessory, once again, to be included with the figure from the Loki series. So next, let's check out the articulation of Sylvie. So in order to see the full range of motion, we will have to take the cloak off because that will severely restrict the motion of the arms. So they do lift up at the shoulder. Single bend at the elbow, I believe that's a single bend, but it gets pretty far. We got a hinge at the wrist and a swivel at the wrist, ball joint at the mid-torso, and then a ball joint at the neck, which will get you all sorts of movement for the head, which is very cool. The legs can lift up at the waist, and then they can move back a slight bit. They have an upper thigh swivel, and they could double bend, I believe. Yeah, it's a double bend, but it's a pinless joint, so the knee gets all the way up. Then there is a boot swivel, as well as a rocker and pivot on the ankle. So that's going to be all the articulation. Let me know if I missed anything if you have this figure, but I'm pretty sure I got all of it. So let's move on to Mobius. Okay, so for the articulation on Mobius, he can look up, he can't really look down. He's got a tilt side to side on the head. He's got a lift up at the shoulder, which lifts up very far, which is very nice. Then there is an upper bicep swivel, a double hinged elbow, which gives you way more movement than you need, which is always nice. Then you have a swivel at the wrist and a hinge, but the hinge is not going to be too effective that way, but it will hinge pretty far that way. And then there is a ball joint at the mid-torso, which is very nice, and then a swivel at the waist, lift up for the legs, but they cannot really go back at all. But there is an upper thigh swivel, double hinged knee, which comes almost all the way up, then rocker and pivot at the ankle. So that should be all for the articulation. So let me get Sylvie in a cool pose, and I'll give you guys a closer look at Sylvie. Now let's see if I can even get Mobius to stand up, and I will give you guys a closer look at Mobius. Okay, so my finishing touches on this review. Yes, I managed to get Mobius to stand, though he is kind of leaning over very awkwardly. Doesn't really look very natural, but hey, he's at least standing up, right? So I think these two figures are great. I'm very happy to have been given them for Christmas because these are two figures that were high on my Marvel Legends wish list. They will go great on my MCU shelf. They are both fantastic figures. Mobius, yes, he does have a problem standing up, but overall, it's an amazing figure that I think would be a worthy addition to any MCU collection, especially if you do have the original Loki, which, speaking of which, I gotta go get off of his shelf. I almost forgot. So let's see what they look like next to Loki himself. Alright, so there they are next to Loki, and he's had his fair share of standing problems as well since he's been in my collection. So, yeah, but he goes great with these two. These are definitely, it's awesome to have more figures from Loki because Loki was the only one from Loki in the original Disney Plus wave, so I'm glad to finally have Sylvie and Mobius to go with them and add to my MCU collection. So yeah, let's get Loki out of the way and I will wrap up this review. So yeah, like I said, two great figures, absolutely must have in any MCU collection, especially if you have that Loki from the original Disney Plus wave. So yeah, I'm really happy with these figures. I'm having a great Christmas this year, and I hope you guys had a great Christmas as well. Whenever you end up watching this, I don't know when I'll end up uploading it, but I'm recording it on Christmas Day, and I'm having a good day. So I hope you guys are having a good day, and I hope you had a good Christmas, and I hope you found this review helpful. Hope you found it enjoyable, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.